Oh, looks like we're getting a full house here. So far, we got Samantha, Ibad, Denny, Piyush. Thank you all for coming. Bruce, appreciate you being here. Bianca, Cliff, David, Michelle, Andrew, Lewis, and Malhai. Joan, we see you there. Chris, if you have any questions, please post it in the chat. Michael, we see Vicar, Imshan, Nahal, and we got a lot of people coming in, and they're coming in more and more. We're just gonna give a couple more minutes to get everyone to come in. All right. So hey folks, my name is Brian Prasad, and I've been doing a lot of these webinars, our one-on-ones for Brightwater, and lasted a while because the demand for it's really, really high. And my job is to prepare as everyone who's interested in the development as best as possible, so you have a leg up to be able to get a unit in this development, because it's absolutely something that I've never seen before. Every week, it's a couple hundred people registering with us, and they're all asking similar questions. And I've been doing a lot of these calls that I've been doing right here with you on a webinar format, one-on-one. So what I'd like to do is to go through the development with you, go through the expected pricing, let you know when it's going to be coming out, and what the expected deposit structure is going to be. It's going to go really quickly, so if you have any questions, just message us in the chat, or if you like, you could set up a one-on-one with me. To do that, you just go to bookbrianp.com. It'll take you directly into my schedule, and we'll be able to do something where I'll be able to help you answer any questions that you might have on a one-on-one. So you just go and click, and you pick what time you wanted to have the chat with me, and we could do it on Zoom. A little bit about myself. I'm a realtor. I'm what's called a platinum agent for this development. And what that means is that the builders, they give us preferential access to sell the units before they have the sales centers made, before they release it to the public and other real estate agents. They gave us allocations to be able to help people like you to be able to buy. And the way that we get our allocations is that we have clients go to this link right here, submit worksheets to us, and we submit to the builder. And then we go through people's choices, and then we help find them the best units that's available. And the reason why builders do this is because agents like myself, we could, each one of us could do 10, 15 in 1 or 2 days, because we prepare our clients like this. And it's a lot faster, more efficient working with us, because they don't have to spend any marketing dollars at all. So they work with agents like ourselves. So let's get right into it. Brightwater is a huge development. It's a 70-acre site south of Lakeshore between Mississauga Road and Pine. It has 2,500 condo units and 500 town units. And the way the development's set up, and you could see because the land comes out here, almost all the buildings at some point, some direction, will have a lake view. So we could see here the way they position the towns, a lot of the towns will have lake views here. So you could see clearly a lot of the buildings will have views of the lake. It's going to have 300,000 square feet of retail space. At the base of every condo is 2 levels of non-residential uses. And we could see here they're really trying to encourage pedestrian traffic, pedestrian flow, not a lot of traffic. So you can see they did like this red brick roadway coming in. Now, I'm going to pause it right here. The first 2 buildings that they're going to get site plan approval are these 2 buildings here. It's called the C block and the H block. In total, there's about 80 units here, 220 units here. It's 14 stories. This one's 6 stories. So this one's obviously going to be partially blocked by this building here. But if you look diagonal here, we'll be able to see down the lake from that end. It would have unobstructed views of the north as well. So if we're going back here, they're really trying to encourage a lot of public space and a lot of public space use. So we could see right here, if we pause it, in the public space that they have, they're gonna have fountains, they're gonna have sculptures that people could be able to use stuff with. And if we take a look at other areas where they've built public space, it kind of looks like this, drab and bland, no one uses it. What they find is that when you mix in things where people could use, like you put in shops, you put in things that people could be able to use for recreation, you get people coming in there and actually using it, and becomes more vibrant. So they're taking urban planning mistakes that they saw in Toronto and everywhere else with the waterfront developments, and changing it to make it really exciting and really vibrant to live in. So this is the square of the first two buildings. The location is going to be closest to Lakeshore coming in. This is the first two that they're going for site plan approval. So the benefits of this phase, it's closest to the retail, closest to mainly all the shops and everything else. So going down further, going into the theme with mixing the uses. So we could see the first two level, again, non-residential uses. Here is these townhomes. They're going to be a stacked town product, meaning it's not a traditional town. There's going to be units below and above and behind and left to right. So it's not just one standalone building. This is actually a pretty tall building here. And going back with the mixing of uses here, so they have table tennis, they have umbrellas, so people would be able to enjoy it at different times of the day, and people actually would want to hang out and be here. So the sculptures and things that they have double as playground spaces for the kiddos. And we could see a little bit more of the towns here. You could see this is one level and there's going to be another level above it. So here's a little bit. So there's one level and there's one level above it. These are the condo units, and you can see the first two levels, non-residential uses. Of the 70 acres, 20 acres is going to be devoted to public space. And the reason why that's good is that it's going to attract a lot of people to want to be here. And even in the winter, you could imagine like squares like this that they're building, they could do Christmas markets. It's going to be a real destination point. It's going to be a tourist attraction, and it's going to be really exciting to live in here. Mississauga doesn't have a lot of beaches, so they're actually going to be remediating and building beaches here, and it's desperately needed. People need these waterfront recreation spaces in Mississippi. I mean, Toronto has it, but it's not going to be like Brightwater. I mean, this is actually really amazing that what they're doing right here. So if we go here and we go to the master plan, we could see the first two blocks that they're going for site plan approval. Then what in the fall, we expect that this is the townhome block that they're going to be releasing first. There's no dates for the plans of pricing release. We just know it's going to be sometime in September. The big question that I get at this point is what the price range is going to be. And I'll go through an analysis of what's happening in the area right now. So in the area right now, Westport came out at $1,000 per square foot. The Tanu has some high-end units at averaging $1,000 a square foot. But digging back, the demand is extremely high in this area. Let me show you what actually happened at Westport, so you will be able to get an idea of what happened with the sales over there. And the builder definitely watched this and saw what happened. So Westport, as you'll note here, there's a lot of units under 600,000, quite a bit under 700,000. Flash forward to 2 weeks after its release, this is what was left. Nothing was left. Nothing was left. Excuse me, I'm just having some audio issues here. Nothing was left under 630,000. So in 2 weeks, all the units that you saw here that were under 630,000 were snapped up. So I expect that to be a really in-demand price point. Flash forward to 1 month later, nothing left under 800,000. So if we look here, we could see the units that they have left are lower floors and bigger units. So after us agents, us platinum agents had access to it, the builders sold out almost everything that was desirable. Only thing that was left was the Northeast non-Lakeview facing high-end priced units. I don't want that to happen to you. The mistake that I made at Westport is that we Okay, so Zoom just crashed. I hope everyone can see. I hope I was able to see. Let me know where you left. The deposit structure. Usually it's 20% down spread over the construction period. Okay, so thank you for your patience here. We're just having some internet issues or Zoom difficulties. Zoom is just acting a little haywire right now. I guess this is what happens when you do a webinar in the middle of business hours at 2 o'clock. We normally do these in the evening. So it's getting back on my screen. Actually, I can't see anything that's happening right now. I'm seeing an hourglass, but I could still see people in the chat chatting. Okay, it looks like we're back. So I hope you could see this. The deposit structure that we're typically seeing on condo buildings after COVID is a really spread out deposit structure where it's essentially, this is a little bit easier to look at, 5% 30 days, and that's it for 2021. 5%, excuse me, that's it for 2020. Then we're seeing 5% in 2021. So that's 5% 2020, 5% 2021, and 5% in 2022, and the final 5% in occupancy. So that's a really spread out deposit structure. This is what the deposit structure we've been seeing with builders coming in since March. Most of them are coming out like this for the big launches. The old traditional deposit structure is more like this, where it's 5% in 30 days, just like what we saw at Westport, 5% in 30 days, but it's a little bit more accelerated, where it's essentially 15% spread over 540 days and the final 5% in occupancy. So if I was looking to purchase at Westport, I would be really prepared of paying 15% down over 365 days. If it comes out with 5% per year, like it is with the other projects, that's a bonus, but I'd be really prepared for this deposit structure here. The next thing I'd like to go over is the process to buy. So the way the builders work is that they give us agents allocations of units, and then we have to submit what's called a worksheet. And here's the Brightwater worksheet, so I'll be able to show it to you. So, and they tell us, Brian, fill this out with your client's information, give us their choices so we know a rough idea what your clients are looking at, and then we'll give you the units. So I actually have a way that you could fill this out online. I know we don't have the unit numbers or the units or the plans and pricing. I know we don't have that information, but I would suggest is this. At Westport, I didn't do this before, collect worksheets in advance. I would say it's going to be giving you a leg up if we do it. So you put in, and I'll send everyone this link, InsideTorontoCondos.com is my website, /worksheet. Put in Brightwater, put in your name, your address, your birth date. This is all the information that the builder needs in their worksheets that they do, and it automatically gets filled out. Your employer name, you don't have to put your SIN number until you get the unit. And this is where it gets a little tricky. So you just put your price range here, under 700,000 Lakeview, and you want it the highest floor possible. And if that's your only choice, put that in. And then when the plans and pricing comes out, I'll be Sunny. These are your choices under 700,000 with the Lakeview. Should we submit it to the builder? You give me the yes. It's no obligation. The builder will then allocate us a unit, and then you can choose to sign for it the weekend after we get the pricing. You do have to update your driver's license. The builder wants to know you're a real person. So if you have any questions, that's the process to buy. I'm going to be answering some of the questions that we have right here that are coming in right now. What is the deposit structure? Again, the deposit structure is not set. It's definitely going to be 20% down spread over the construction period. What that is it going to be spread over 3 years or 1 year? For the first 15%, we have to wait and see. Who are the builders that are involved? Okay, let me show you here. So I don't know if you've heard of Stephen Diamond. Let's look him up right here. And so Stephen Diamond is the chair of Waterfront Toronto. He's really experienced in urban planning. So you could see that with his handiwork over here. He was actually front and center and knew the insides and outs of what Google was doing with their waterfront plans in Toronto, the Portlands area with the Google Smart City. And he saw some stuff that we should be concerned of and raised it with Google and raised it with the city. So he's really experienced with developing these type of large scale projects. His family, they started Cadillac Fairview, which owns Eaton Center. He's done a lot of development, 15,000 residential units. He's a very experienced builder. You might have heard of these people, the Kilmer Group, but you'll definitely know the name if you're a Leaf or Raptors fan. When I show you this, Larry Tannenbaum, the owner of the Leafs and the Raptors, along with Rogers and Bell, is behind Brightwater. So there's a really experienced team, a strong team of builders that are developing this. They had to go through this big process with the city to be able to get this thing done. You have no worries that these guys are not going to be able to do it. And you have no worries that they're not going to build a quality project, because they're really solid people in our industry. Our industry, in the building and land development industry, they really look up to these guys. So really solid team behind them. What do I expect the maintenance fees to be? That actually hasn't been set yet. We have been seeing buildings that are comparable, ranging from 55 cents to 69 cents a square foot for maintenance. Let's see what other questions are coming up here. Expected property taxes. In Mississauga, builders always estimate 1% of the cost for property tax, and that's your yearly tax. I actually see it come out a lot less than that. I very rarely see a $600,000 condo with $6,000 property taxes, but just estimate that for your costs and be able to use that for your budgeting. When will the Lakeview ones come out? So I don't think the builder even knows that. So the way these things work is that they have the master plan. And when they have the master plan, the builder submits plans to the city for the individual building. And then they have to get site plan approval and the approvals to build. And when they do that, they could cost things out. And when they cost things out, they could price things out. And when they price things out, that's when we get the plans and pricing and brochures and all that stuff. It might take many years for these to come out. So what I suggest is if you are looking for these prime Lakeview ones, get in early, because usually what happens is that it takes 4 years to complete. You could decide to resell your unit, and when these units are coming up, your unit, because you bought in early, would have gone up substantially, and we'll be able to assign it, and then you could use it to buy your dream condo in the complex. If you're looking at it as an investment, the earlier you buy in master plan communities, the higher the return that you get. So we don't have the dates for when these ones are going to be coming out. A couple other questions, and Zoom is slow right now. Oh boy, let me stop sharing the screen. Let me see if I could get this going. Will there be any freehold towns? Most likely not. It's going to be all condo towns, but we'll confirm that. But it from the site plans that we've been seeing, it's a stack town product. I'll show you what that looks like as a stack town product. I'm not saying it's going to look like this, but it will give you an idea. This is a project in Pickering. This is the stack town project. And what I mean by stack town is that, I'm just loading right here. Technology and Zoom, amazing. So this is a block of towns. So there's a unit right here, and then there's one unit here. Usually it's a 2-story unit with a rooftop, or in this case, it's a balcony. So I expect it to be not a freehold, but a stacked town like this. So there's a unit above you, below you, and a unit behind you. So that's how the block looks. Just go back to the questions. Let's see, so I have to unshare the screen because Zoom is crashing. We're getting a lot of private messages here from fellow real estate agents. Those are questions we should probably talk to one-on-one. So if you wanted to book a one-on-one with me, book in my calendar, bookbrianp.com, and we'll be able to take care of you. If you are interested, the benefits of submitting the worksheet right now versus when you get the plans and pricing is that when we get the plans and pricing, we get it all at the same time. You don't get first extra access with the plans and pricing. It's just that I've literally got 1,000 people that are registered and are waiting for these plans and pricing and 30 worksheets. I'm really going to focus on the people who submitted the worksheets first to be able to help them get a unit. And I mean, don't get married to the first 2 buildings here. We'll definitely help you get units later on. So we're hearing that it's going to be a small release of the total 300 units. It's going to be a future release coming out later. So we can wait until the future releases come out, and they're going to have progressively better views. So even though this one here is a little bit, you can see it kind of blocked, but if you look at it from this angle here, it will have lake views. It will have great views, even down to the CN Tower. So it gets better and better and better as we go along. So if we don't get something here, we'll definitely get something for you down the line. See some more questions that are coming up. Getting a lot of WhatsApp messages as well. Yeah, a lot of realtor questions. So I think that, I'll leave it at that. We're at that almost at that half-hour mark. Real estate agents, recommend that maybe just give me a call and I'll be able to help you out. And I know we have quite a bit of real estate agents in the webinar right now. But for clients that are actually looking to purchase, please go to that link that I'm going to be sending out to you. Submit the worksheets and we'll be able to take care of you. Take care and have a good rest of your day. And folks, as always, it's my new tagline, keep your eyes open when you're closing that deal. Bye for now.